Hello and welcome back. I'm Joseph Hoffman, and today we're going to work on learning a piece called Amazing Day, which I composed for my students in a summer camp I taught years ago. I wanted the song to capture the excitement and happiness of a really great, amazing day. For me, that might be a day when I get to go for a long walk in the forest, or a bike ride with my boys, or playing frisbee on the beach. As you listen to this piece, maybe you'll think of some things that you love doing that make for an amazing day for you. Let's go ahead and listen to Amazing Day. All right, let's check out the sheet music for Amazing Day. Here's my score. What I'd like you to do is download the sheet music from the website and press pause, and on your own, I'd like you to scan through the entire piece and just see what you notice. Try and find some patterns that are happening. Maybe look for some things that you've never seen before, maybe things you have questions about. Just take a minute or two to get familiar with the piece by scanning through it, and then press play and we'll talk about it together. All right, what did you notice about this score? Hopefully you noticed our tempo indication says with excitement, which is not a surprise. And you might have noticed a new kind of symbol. You see these lines going underneath with this occasional little arrowhead up and down. These are petal marks, which we will learn how to read in a later lesson. But for now, just know that that's going to be coming, and we're going to learn how to add petal with this piece. You might have noticed some new symbols like this coda symbol, which again, we'll learn about in a later lesson. Today, we're just going to be focusing on this page. Coda is a kind of musical teleporter that's going to teleport you to another section when we get to that point a second time. But again, we'll learn more about that in a lesson very soon. Today, let's focus on this page, and in these first 8 measures, did you notice any patterns? Hopefully you noticed a kind of 2-bar pattern. And when I say bar in music, I'm not talking about a chocolate bar. We're talking about measures. Bar is a kind of a nickname for a measure. So here's a 2-bar pattern that repeats. If you look at the notes inside this yellow box I drew, you'll see the exact same notes repeat over here in measures 3 to 4. Now, let's come down here to measures 5 and 6 and tell me what you notice. Is it the same pattern or different? It's a very similar, but slightly different pattern. Let's try and figure out what's the same and what's different. Going back up to our yellow 2-bar pattern, can you figure out the name of these 2 notes in the left hand? We've got this 2-note chord. What 2 notes are those? If you said D and A, you are correct. This is low D, just a step above low C. And then we've got A just a step above our ground G. So we've got this interval of a fifth down here, And then what happens right here? We get the same fifth again, an octave higher. We also have a D and an A chord, which again repeats in this 2-bar pattern. So we have D and A down low, and then D and A up high here, and then that happens again. Now what's going on the right hand? See how we have this interval of a fourth from E to A, and then it resolves to a third D to F sharp. Same pattern again. Now, what happens here? Can you tell me the names of these two notes? We've got a C on the bottom. That's our low C, and then we've got our ground G. Also a fifth, but this time this fifth is a step below this one. So that's very important to notice. And then look, the same thing here. Now, this symbol, you may recall, is a natural. And a natural cancels a sharp or a flat. And I just realized we forgot to talk about, which we should always do at the start when we're analyzing a piece, is our key signature. Our key signature for this piece has 2 sharps. Now, starting with a D and A chord like this, and seeing the 2 sharps, can you figure out what key this piece is in? If you said D major, you're correct. Check out our ladder of fifths to see that as we go up the ladder to 2 sharps, we land on the key of D major, which has both an F sharp and a C sharp. However, here we're canceling the C sharp and playing a C natural, and that will give it kind of a unique sound that we want there. Now here in measures 7 and 8, do we have a yellow pattern or a pink pattern? If you said yellow, you're correct. We come back and play that same yellow pattern again. Now, why do I take so much time analyzing the music? Some of you might be saying, let's just learn how to play it. Well, if you take time to learn the music this way, you're going to learn it much faster. You learn this pattern, and now, boom, you already know 6 measures, not just 2. If you're learning the notes one at a time, you may not recognize those patterns and realize those chunks, which will, again, make it much faster to learn. Now, last thing before we play this piece is to figure out the rhythms. The rhythm between the 2 hands is it has a little bit of a syncopated feel. So let's write in the counts. What is happening on beat 1? And I've got this forte mark, which is a little bit in my way, but I'll just write a little below it. The right hand is resting, the left hand is playing on beat 1. On beat 2, the right hand plays. On beat 3, the right hand plays. See, the left hand is just holding for those first 3 beats because of this dotted half note. Then beat 4, the left hand plays. Now you'll notice this is tied to this whole note. So the right hand's going to hold this chord for beat 4 plus 4 more beats in this next measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this same rhythmic pattern repeats throughout the first 8 measures. Let's try tapping that rhythm on the piano lid or on your lap or a table. Now let's try tapping the rhythm of these first 8 measures. Our rhythmic pattern is we have a left hand on beat 1, so go ahead and try this with me on your own. Left on 1, then right on beat 2, right on beat 3, then another left on beat 4, and then a right on 1, 2, 3 of the next measure. So all together we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Now count the beat with me as you tap. Let's try measures 1 through 8. Remember, we're in 2-bar pattern, so it will be the same rhythm over and over again. Let's count 4 beats to prepare, and then we'll start. Count the beat out loud with me as you tap. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Now, if you need more practice with that, please pause the video, rewind to try it again, or if you're ready, let's go on and learn to play the notes. Let's master the left hand first for a change. Here's my middle C. Where do I need to place my left hand? We already identified that we have a D and an A. So should it be right here? No, because this A is too close to middle C. You can see on the score that this D and A is near ground G, which is way down here. So this is the first chord. Go ahead and find that on your piano and play that open fifth chord from D to A. We hold that 3 beats, 1, 2, 3, 4, and on beat 4 we come up an octave to play the same chord 1 octave higher. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try that together. Count the beat out loud with me as you play the left hand from the start. I'll give you 4 beats to prepare, then let's play. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. It's very important that you count out loud as you play because the rhythms of this piece are a little syncopated. It's not often that we have a strong accent on beat 4 like this, and so by counting, you'll make sure that you're getting those rhythms correct. Let's try it one more time. Make sure you're landing right on beat 4 with this other chord. Here we go. 4 beats to prepare, then we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How did you do? Good. Again, you can always pause if you need more time to try something. Otherwise, let's go on to the next line. Look at measure 5. Now we have a C and a G. You'll notice it's just a step below the chord we were just on. C natural, I should say. We're in the key of D major, which usually has a C sharp. But sometimes, even in D major, it's almost like a mixolydian mode, which is kind of an advanced music theory term to just say that we've lowered that 7th note to kind of have a more unique sound here. Okay, so find that C and G, and then it comes up the octave once again on beat 4. So let's try measures 5 and 6, counting the beat. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then in measures 7 and 8, it's back to the old pattern. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Now, pause the video and practice measures 1 through 8, left hand only with counting the beat out loud. Pause to practice that section on your own, then press play to go on. Now, let's check out what the right hand is doing. Look at measure 1. You'll see we start on an E with finger 2. So go ahead and place finger 2 on E. And then what interval do we go up? We already identified that we go up a 4th. Finger 5 on A. Okay, so we have rest on beat 1, then 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and then a D and an F, which because of our key signature has to be F sharp. Okay, try that with me. Ready, rest on beat 1, then finger 2 on beat on beat 2, we play with finger 2, 2, and then beat 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you try. Now let's try putting that with the left hand. Remember, we've got a tricky rhythm that's going between the hands, so let's count the beat out loud as we do it. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 4. Now you notice I was going quite slow. Let me grab my metronome. I suggest you practice at a quite slow speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got my metronome at 72 beats per minute. And don't worry, eventually we're going to go much, much faster. But at first, we've got to get the rhythms correct. So practice it slow and steady. Pause the video to try measures 1 through 8, hands together, and then press play to go on. Now again, at first when you're practicing this, go super slow at about 72 beats per minute. And then, you'll kick that up maybe to 88. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gradually speed that up. Our final speed is going to be close to 184. Now let's look at measures 9 through 16. Take a look at the left-hand part first again, and tell me what you notice. You should notice that the left hand is doing the exact same pattern as before. So we're good for the left hand, right? Now check out the right hand part and tell me what you notice. Same or different? This time the right hand has a slightly different pattern. Now on beat 2, we've got 2 eighth notes. So we have 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we've got the same basic idea going on, but an embellished or kind of this new fun rhythm pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3. Those eighth notes add some energy to it. 1, ti ti ta, 2, rest, ti ti 2, ti ti ta 2. Try measures 9 through 16 several times on your own, hands together, and then press play to go on. Now, here in measure 9, you may have noticed this symbol, 8VA, second time only, and then dash, 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 this long line. That you can completely ignore for right now, because we're not on our second time through. Once we learn the B section, we're going to hit a DCL coda, which is going to take us back to play this section again. The second time through, we're going to do this right-hand pattern in measures 9 through 12 up 1 octave. That's what that 8VA is telling you. But don't worry about that yet because we haven't gotten to the next section. So for now, just ignore that. You can also ignore this 2 coda symbol. That also doesn't mean anything until we come back the second time. So for your practicing for right now, just ignore all that writing up there above measures 9 through 12. Okay, let's listen to the entire A section once. I'm going to play it at a fairly slow speed, which again, I recommend you start at about 72, but this may be what you could play it at after, let's say, a day or two of practice. I've sped this up to, let's go to 100 beats per minute. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why don't you count the beat out loud with me as you listen? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good, and that's the section we learned today. In your practicing on your own, I strongly encourage you to count the beat out loud or use a metronome or both. Start at a very slow speed and gradually increase until you're at our performance speed of around 184. Great job learning the A section of Amazing Day. I encourage you to remember to count the beat out loud as you practice. That's going to help you keep the beat steady and help make sure that all the rhythms are correct. Happy practicing, and I hope your day is amazing. See you next time. What's this? Looks like a 2-bar pattern. Make that 1 bar. Hey,